Today we're going to be talking about a game that several of you have recommended to me. That game is Michigan Report from Hell. Now, having gone through this game, I know exactly why you guys recommended this to me. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name's Morgan, and one of my favorite topics to make videos on is horror video games that are so bad but they're good. And let me tell you, Michigan Report from Hell is exactly that. This game has it all. Goofy characters.
When I was a kid, I wanted to live in a house with a big refrigerator like this. One filled with tons of ice cream.
Terrible voice acting.
Pamela was pretty brave, wasn't she?
I loved her. I was crazy about Pamela.
And a nonsensical story.
It's now here, inside my own body. It's wonderful.
If you don't know anything about this game, I am so happy to change that today and be the one to tell you all about it. But first, the disclaimer. This video is not a serious review, but rather a comedic retelling of the plot because I find it funny. In other words, please don't get mad at me for not critiquing the story and talking a bunch about the gameplay and how it could be improved. Like seriously, for real, I mean that part. I've had this disclaimer for a while now and I've still had people be like, why didn't you talk about the gameplay? What do you mean? I warned you. But yeah, we're just here to have a fun time. Okay, now let's get into this. Michigan Report from Hell is a game where you play as a cameraman for Zaka TV. You, a reporter, and a sound guy are sent to get the scoop on a strange mist that's covering Chicago. While there, you discover that there are monsters lurking in the mist, killing the residents of the city. The gameplay is pretty basic in this game. You follow the reporter around with your camera, and that's it. I mean, you can direct her to open doors or shoot monsters with a gun, but aside from that, you're just here to be a cameraman. The reporter is doing all the work. The game begins with the tutorial, which is given to us by the best character in the game, Briscoe. Right off the bat, we are introduced to this legend. Briscoe is the team's sound guy, but he's honestly kind of useless. He follows the reporter around with this boom mic, but there's literally no reason to do that because she's using a handheld microphone. What are you recording, Briscoe? Not only that, but sometimes he just stands right in the shot, or gets in your way when you're walking. Dude, move! But what makes Briscoe so great is all of the weird lines he has and the way his voice actor delivers them.
She always looked her best when she was smiling. Pamela.
Like I said before, the voice acting isn't good in this game, but Briscoe's is by far the most over the top.
I, Jean-Philip Briscoe, say this as a representative of all Zaka TV news teams.
And honestly, the game wouldn't be anywhere near as entertaining without him. Anyway, Briscoe teaches you how to use the camera and ram into things.
Hey!
You barely use this ramming feature in the game, so I really don't know why they added it other than to torture Briscoe. Then you learn about scoop points versus erotic points versus immoral points. You get scoop points by filming like a normal reporter and capturing evidence, immoral points by filming people die, and erotic points by filming up the reporter's skirt. Whichever points you get the most affects your ending, but we'll get to that later. We're gonna focus on the scoop points route because that's where you get the most story. I know. Shockingly, it doesn't come from the erotic route. So then we meet our reporter, Pamela, and never mind, she's dead. Pamela is immediately replaced by a new reporter, Anne. She gets a call from a survivor in the city and tells them that she'll be on the way to help. But first, you have to find Briscoe. He's all alone, drinking and crying because apparently he was in love with Pamela.
What kind of a way to die was that? What am I gonna tell her parents?
You get him some water and the team is off to find the survivor, but not before they discover a dead body. I told you guys Briscoe was the best part of this game. On the way there, they're attacked by Pamela, who has turned into one of the horrible monsters, and they're forced to drop a shutter door on her, crushing her. Briscoe is very gung-ho about this idea until they actually do it.
It's the control for the shutter!
They finally make it to where the survivor is, but she's trapped on the other side of some rubble.
What's your name?
Becky Wands.
That's a nice name.
Yes! It's a very nice name. I'm Ann Anderson. Are you listening, Becky? Don't give up.
I just can't stop showing off the voice acting in this game. Like, it's too good. They find a way around the rubble and make it to Becky, only for her to be eaten by a monster as soon as they get there. Briscoe has had enough at this point and demands that they go back to the office to regroup with the rest of their team. Anne agrees, but when they get there, they discover that the office is completely empty. All of their co-workers are missing. The phone rings, and Anne answers it. An old man is on the other end and says that he's all alone in the nursing home and needs help. I only know this though because that's what Anne tells us after she hangs up. And I have no idea how Anne even managed to learn that, because this dude is about as easy to understand as an adult from Charlie Brown.
Where are you? Okay? Yes, I've got it.
Also, why is the news team from Zaka TV in charge of rescuing all of the survivors in the city? Later on, you learn that all the police and emergency rescue have fled the city, but why does that make a bunch of reporters the next most qualified people to save everyone? They head to the nursing home, and instead of finding an old man, they find one of their fellow reporters, Justine, tied up on a pool table. Briscoe saves her, and you take all the credit for it.
Thank you very much for helping me.
Huh? But I'm the one that saved you.
Also, you never find an old man there, so I don't know what that was about. Was he the one that tied up Justine, and then he lured you there? I literally have no clue. The game never tells you. Afterwards, they find a few more of their co-workers dead and have to kill another one who turned into a monster. All of this finally causes Anne to snap.
Oh! I killed Jeff! He's dead!
But Briscoe has some amazing advice for her.
They were just monsters. Don't think about it. Think about what we're gonna do next instead.
I guess you're right.
It really was not hard to cheer her up. Anne says that she wants to go search for her family, so you and Briscoe decide to go to Zaka TV's headquarters to yell at the chief for forcing the team to stay in the city and report on what's going on. But this is where the game takes a really weird detour. Briscoe crashes the van on the way to the headquarters, so the two of you wander around until you find this cabin in the woods. There's another reporter there who neither of you have met before named Nina. Nina says that she's waiting there for someone, so the three of you decide to hide out there for a while. That is until a giant monster shows up, eats Nina, and the two of you escape and meet back up with Anne, who says that her family has already evacuated. This whole section feels very random and pointless. Now that the team is reunited, you go to the Zaka TV headquarters for real this time, and Briscoe lets the chief have it.
Just shut up and listen. And listen good, Chief. I, Jean Philip Briscoe, say this as a representative of all Zaka TV news teams. We refuse to get kicked around anymore.
Apparently the chief is super charming though, because instead of taking responsibility for her actions, she tells you guys to go save one of her underlings that's missing and report on it, and you're all just like, okay. She also tells Anne that her reporting sucks and she needs to do better, so from here on out, she will just start reporting on the most mundane things.
The shelves are lined with row upon row of neat, orderly books. The old books on the shelves give off a faintly musty odor. It's that smell unique to libraries. This is where books would ordinarily be borrowed from the library.
People are dying and turning into monsters, Anne. I don't think they care where people borrow books. The guy the chief wanted you to find is unfortunately dead, but they do meet this doctor who explains the truth behind everything.
The virus is what's behind everything that's been going on here in the city.
Are you talking about biological weapons?
Really? A virus? Again? Why is it in every horror game it's always a virus behind everything? Can't we mix it up a little? This guy also mentions that he can't drink alcohol, which seems like a throwaway line until he turns into a monster, and the way you have to beat him is by throwing alcohol into his mouth. Truly the greatest boss fight of all time. A rescue team is on the way in a helicopter, but they aren't able to land since they can't see through the mist. So the team heads to the lighthouse to turn it on for them. On their way there, they run into the chief, who almost gets attacked by Monster Pamela, who is still not dead for some reason. You save her, and she's all, oh my god, Pamela! What happened to her? You know, with how little the chief cared earlier, and how she was forcing her reporters to stay in the city, I thought she was evil and in on the whole bioweapon thing. But I guess not? I think she's just dumb. You keep heading to the lighthouse, but you're stopped once again. However, this time, it's because of someone you've never met before. I don't know if you guys are fully prepared to meet this character. Like, when I first saw this scene, my jaw was dropped throughout the entire thing. This character has worse voice acting than Briscoe. Briscoe! Alright, you know what? Here he is.
Oh, hello, people! Hey, you guys! Get Dr. O'Connor to come back! No! Wait a minute! Don't go! Wait! Look! Over there! Do you see that? Come on! I'll race you! Please don't kill me! But I suppose you have to.
So you kill this absolute weirdo and the mist lifts. The team comes to the conclusion that this guy was the cause of it all. But I thought it was a virus that got out of control. How does killing this guy stop it? You know what? Whatever. I'm not going to hurt my brain trying to figure it out. The team makes it to the lighthouse, but Anne says that she doesn't feel well and tells you and Briscoe to go in without her. Uh-oh. The two of you head inside and...
I'm not feeling very good all of a sudden. It can't be.
No! Briscoe! But there is good news. You, the cameraman, survive. Well, sort of. Depending on how many scoop, erotic, and immoral points you got, you'll be shown one of 4 endings. 3 of them are almost exactly the same. The cameraman will be shown, but with different looks and personality depending on the points you got. He turns on the camera, ready to tell the world about what happened in Chicago, but then he gets sniped from outside. In all 3 endings.
That's... By the way...
But then there's the 4th ending. Let me just show it to you.
Look closely. It's me. It's me, see?
I don't know what this means. So after I finished the game, I realized that you can actually get Anne killed. I thought that if she died, it was just a game over, but nope. She'll just get replaced by another reporter. And you can keep getting reporters killed, and they'll keep getting replaced. You actually miss a lot of story if you do this, but you do get to hear Briscoe give the same exact reaction to all of their deaths.
Anne! Oh my God! Carly! Oh my God! Nina! Oh my God! Justine! Oh my God! Paula! Oh my God!
Eventually, you do run out of reporters. After getting all of the girls killed, you're left with this guy, and he can't die. Which, by the way, this guy mentions that he's looking for someone named Nina. If you remember, the Nina we met was also looking for someone. But this is actually completely unrelated. Nina was looking for someone else, and this guy doesn't know who our Nina is.
It's Mark Bockwinkel.
I was supposed to meet Dwight here.
She was waiting for somebody too.
I see. Well, that's too bad for her. But it doesn't have anything to do with me.
What was the point of adding this then? But anyway, that is going to do it for Michigan Report from Hell. This game is a chaotic mess with a nonsensical story and horrible voice acting, but I loved every second of it. This game really is the definition of so bad that it's good, and I'm glad that it exists. What are your thoughts on this game? Have you ever played it before? If there are other games or media you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below. Like I said at the start of this video, this game was recommended to me by you guys, so I do take your suggestions into consideration. If you liked the video, like and subscribe to see more content from me. And yeah, that's going to do it for me today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!